Shazam! Why don't people wear watches anymore these days? Aloha! My name is NoahClue, animation aficionado, and occasional online video producer. No, not that kind. Yes, that kind. And I host a little segment every week on the live stream called the 10-Frame Theater, specifically devoted to Western animation, all cartoons. For every genre cartoons you can imagine, and I don't like this line read, no. Nope, screw the script. Screw it. This will loosen up it. Alright, fine, you know what? It's the 10-Frame Theater, the premier animation live stream for the entire interwebs. Host of American cartoons, or Canadian cartoons, or even from France and Sweden. I don't think they make cartoons, but still, all over the Western society. That is what we'll find here at the 10-Frame Theater. And now for the incredibly epic saga of the origin of the 10-Frame Theater. Once upon a time, there was the internet. Fast forward a few years, there was the Teh Bukkit, an anime reviewing site devoted to some of the finest anime reviewers of the entire world. Yes, the entire world, and probably other worlds too, if we could find them. And they had this weekly livestream segment called the Popcorn Bucket, where, for the first time, in my own experience, people could come together and enjoy all the wonders of anime. But in a group. You didn't have to have everyone together. Just from all over the internet, people could come together and they could chat together. You were good old times back in the day there. And so after that induction into the live streaming community, and after a few other friends of mine like Spaceman Hardy and Lord Itchinator and Troll Sneebs decided to make their own live streams, I kind of had an idea of how to do it myself, but I didn't really have a reason to start one just yet. Until August 2011. You see, there was a very, very sad young man who said these immortal words to me: "I have never seen Animaniacs." Well, after I beat him over the head a few times, I decided to grab my copy of Animaniacs and grab the very first disc and just fire up livestream, because I thought, you know what, this needs to be shared with him. At least, this show needs to be shared. And that worked out pretty well, actually. It was a chance to share it with people who hadn't seen it before, because it's not broadcasting on TV anymore, and not everyone has seen this amazing show, this wonderful show. So, I kind of got to thinking to myself, there is really no premier place on the internet to showcase cartoons. I mean, because there are many cartoons out there beyond your typical Disney movies or whatever Cartoon Network is making today. There really isn't a place to showcase the broad variety of it, and I was pretty knowledgeable of them all. I mean, not as much as I'd like to be, but a pretty good grasp on it all. So the next week was the first time that I decided to, okay, I'll give this a try. This one time I will try to rip a few episodes of it, have a pre-show set up, and I will give people a chance to see if they want to watch this or not. And they did. And so I decided I would try again the next week. And I did it the next week, and the week after. And lo and behold, here we are today, where we have the 10-Frame Theater still going, showcasing all the cartoons that are available. The tedious process of live streaming. The weekly process is an interesting procedure in itself. Basically, it takes about a good 6 to 7 hours to get the whole thing set up. Usually I plan out the schedule about a couple of months in advance for what everything's going to be every week, and I get the main show figured out, so what the main feature of the night's going to be. And the idea, of course, is to highlight something that maybe not everyone's seen already, but give cartoon a bit more exposure. So after selecting the show, or the movie in particular, I acquire the footage and then upload it to livestream.com. And then I select a pre-show, which is basically trailers for upcoming animated projects and new stuff in the animation world. I like to be able to highlight it for other people there. So slap that onto the pre-show, as well as some other short pieces of animation to kind of wet everyone's whistle as we scooch into the main event. And we have the main event. and then it's just a matter of waiting till Thursday, press play, and see who comes by. As far as what to choose, I try to choose stuff that maybe not everyone has already seen before, or something that I think deserves a bit more exposure. It could be popular, but it may be so popular, but it still needs to be seen again. Or stuff that maybe very few people have seen before. Like, I know that we had a night where we showcased Ralph Bakshi's work, and I got to show them American Pop, which is, admittedly, probably Bakshi's best film that not many people have seen already. The man is not just wizards and pornography. I mean, it's a good chunk of him, but it's not the only thing that he is. And from there, it's doing that week by week, and just showing cartoons. Cartoons!
What do you want with me?
Oh, the worst part. What's the worst part? Definitely the technical stuff. Now, I am a very intelligent man, but I do not possess the most sophisticated technology. My computer's rather outdated. So the most tedious part is the whole acquiring footage and uploading it process, because for some people, uploading a single episode may take about 5 minutes. For me, it takes about 20 or so minutes to get one episode uploaded to livestream. And livestream itself is kind of persnickety. Do not trust that program all the time. She very, very difficult. She very difficult sometimes. So that's the most difficult part. It's really getting the footage up to livestream. That's the most difficult part. And sometimes I've been late on that, actually. I haven't gotten all the footage uploaded in time. I mean, we're watching the show, and I will still be uploading the final episode. So it kind of very close sometimes. But thankfully, that is the least horrible part about it. So the actual content is much more rewarding. Really, the best part of being a live streamer is that you get to choose your own material, so you kind of get to set the flavor, the tone, the overall atmosphere for the whole selections. So by choosing to stream Western cartoons and all of Western animation, I've got this chance to really share with people the wider variety of animation out there than simply just what you think would be suitable for kids, for example. I mean, even so, to have a wider variety and show stuff that you would not even think they would have made in the animation. I mean, just think, would you think that Invader Zim would have been able to have been made just for kids? No, there was a bit of an older audience in mind there. Freaking Invasion. So, the chance to share the knowledge about how wide animation is, and to have people who will be open to the experience is really a rewarding part of it. And I like that every week. It's sort of my weekly outlet to be able to indulge in the animation and cartoon medium, because it's not always appreciated so much. I pray that one day, I have this dream that one day animation in the Western culture will be as highly viewed as big budget movies and other high forms of entertainment. High class animation for our classy people. In the meantime, this is the best I can do to really encourage that transition.
I've picked the most expensive medium that takes the longest time that you can get. And the reward is that you can play God. You can do anything you like with it. You have total control.
So you want to be one of us, do you? You want to be one of the weekly live streamers who want to try it themselves? Well, I've got some advice for you. Actually, I do. Probably the hardest part when you're first starting up is that you may feel a little intimidated. There's too much freedom when you start up because you're in charge of the whole show and you have to be the one to entertain people. It all falls on your shoulders. So I would highly advise, if you're going to try this yourself, to expose yourself to live stream first. Talk in live stream chats, just get a feel for it, so that when you do make the transition to being the actual host instead of just a viewer of someone else's show, you're not so intimidated by it, and you actually kind of feel like you can lead the whole thing. Like, I know my first couple of weeks I felt really weird at how it's like, am I doing this right? Am I doing something wrong? Should I wave the red flag? Should I have more explosions? I mean, what should I do? You have to find your own flavor. Everyone has their own style for how they present a show, and I mean it's very much like if you were to choose the TV schedule for the next couple of hours. So by all means, loosen up and experiment around. Find out what works best for you and what doesn't. I mean, not that I've ever chosen stuff that was unlikable before. No, we're not going to mention that one time. No. So many favorite memories. I have to go back into the backlog and think about stuff that was really fun. Yeah, I'd have to pick like specific nights that were the most fun, because it really comes down to those hours during the live stream that really make or break how much you enjoyed it. Some of the favorite ones are probably Secret of Kells was a favorite one, that night that we showed the Secret of Kells movie, because everyone seemed to like it. No one disliked it. It was so much fun. And there were lots of people who showed up for that too. Like, that was one of my highest view nights of all. And it was a good chance to explore stuff that was even outside of America or Japan. So, just something that no one had seen before. Another favorite was probably the end of the year stream that I had, where I picked one episode from each of my favorite shows, animated shows, that I'd seen in 2011. And that was a chance to have a variety for the night, sort of a way to send off the year. And it worked out really well. It was a good chance to really figure out what I, by myself, liked in animation, both East and West there. And so I don't think I could have picked a better way to end off the year. We could probably, some other ones are also the Coraline night. That was a lot of fun. Every night that I've shown Animaniacs has always been lots of fun. That one night with Prince of Egypt was also a lot of fun. Really, really vivid opinions on that one. Really, the best nights are the ones where people in the chat are enjoying what it is that you're showing, and they have their own opinions to share, and people work off of them. It's a really large community event. When you feel like the theater is full of people talking amongst themselves, then you know you've got a good night. We're done already? Okay, closing statements. There is really a stigma against cartoons that I can't really figure out how to change for the world in itself. How can I make the entire Western culture stop thinking that cartoons are just something to put your kids in front of so that you can shut them up for a few hours? Why can't I convince the whole world that it is an expressive medium with endless possibilities to it? And it'll take a while. I believe it will get up there eventually, but it will take a while to do that. So until then, I sincerely hope that I've been able to use this little stream to help shape people's views a little bit more, to give them more of an idea of how wide the medium is, so that when another person tells them, it's like, I hate cartoons, it's all for kids, you can actually go up to them and say, that is not true, and I can prove to you otherwise. And if I can change at least one person's view for the better about animation in general, then I think I would call this a success. So I thank everyone who came to the 10 Frame Theater, who has continued to come, and hopefully will come in the future. I can't do this without you guys. I really cannot. I would just be sitting in my chair in my living room and just flipping through channels and watching cartoons all by myself. And so, with that, I'd say thank you, and I should close this off by saying, continue to watch cartoons, because cartoons are awesome. And so is the 10 Frame Theater. And thank you all very, very much.